These are our unit rate notes. So some vocab review and some new vocab. A ratio is a comparison of two quantities. So example below, 4 blue flowers to 5 red flowers. So some reminders with your ratio. The order matters, so it should always match the question. And labels are helpful. So our new kind of ratio is a rate. A rate is a ratio with different units of measure. And we'll explain that a little bit more here in a second. But the example given is 50 miles to 5 gallons. And then a unit rate is a rate, so different units measure, that compares the first quantity to 1. So 5 miles to 1 gallon. So unit rates are all about this quantity of 1. So we're trying to get them all per 1. Some examples of unit rates. There's like infinite. Some ones that y'all are probably used to are points per game, things like cost per pound, dollars per hour, beats per minute, miles per gallon, kind of like that example above. Like I said, there's a lot. You can really do anything. So you could also say something like steps per, that looks weird, I'm going to erase that, steps per day. Calories per soda, candies per bag. Anything where we can get down to a denominator of 1 is unit rate. So lots of examples here. Those are just some ones I thought of while I was making this video. So we're going to calculate the unit rate. To calculate the unit rate, we're going to set up those proportions. So that's where you have two, or I guess that's where you're trying to create equal ratios. And we're going to create these equal ratios by scaling the denominator to a unit of 1. If we're going down to a unit of 1, then we are going to divide. So then that other reminder is whatever you do to the top, you do to the bottom. So make sure you're always applying the same rules to top and bottom so that you can stay equal and get the right answer. So example 1, a distance runner travels 16 miles in 2 hours. So our first ratio is 16 miles in 2 hours. And we want to know her unit rate. Unit rate again means we're getting down to 1 hour. So then math-wise, how do you turn a 2 into a 1? You're dividing by 2. Whatever I do to the bottom, I do the top. So she can travel 8 miles in 1 hour. That seems very fast. Example 2, there are 108 students in 4 math classes. So my first ratio is going to be 108 students in 4 classes. And we want to know how many students are in each class. So again, we're trying to get down to 1 class. So how do you turn a 4 into a 1? You divide by 4. Whatever you do to the bottom, you do to the top. So 108 divided by 4, 0, 2, 28. So there are 27 students in each class. They're pretty big classes. Okay, next one has an extra step. So Lexi wants to buy Skittles. She can buy an 8-ounce bag for $2.08, or she can buy a 20-ounce bag for $5.40, and we want to know which one is the better buy. So when we're talking about this phrase, better buy, we want cheaper cost per bag. So we don't know how much each bag cost. I guess this example would be cheaper cost per ounce. We have different ounces. So math-wise, we have $2.08 for 8 ounces. And we want to get down to 1 ounce. And then for her second option, we have $5.40 for 20 ounces, and we want to get down to 1 ounce. Again, for unit rate, we're always just scaling down to that denominator of 1. So to turn an 8 into a 1, we're dividing by 8. Whatever you do to the bottom, you do to the top. So 208 divided by 8. Is going to equal 26 cents per ounce. And then for the other problem, 540 divided by 20. 27 cents per ounce. So the 8-ounce bag is the better deal because it's cheaper per ounce. So I'm going to just squish that in over here. 8-ounce bag, better buy, because it's cheaper. So even though you're getting less, it's a little bit cheaper. So to review, unit rates are a special kind of ratio. They have a denominator of 1, and they are often used to determine things like better buy or the fastest person or the best player for that game.